14 Useful Tips Before Traveling for a Safe and Hassle-Free Trip. Many people take the time to plan a fun vacation. But how many people actually plan for potential problems during their vacation? One. Travel. Travel is defined as the travel of an individual and his movement from one place to another, and often for a purpose and goal that makes him go to a specific country, such as recreation, or exploring archaeological areas, or trying activities in a specific place, or collecting experiences and getting to know different cultures. In addition to making more friendships, travel achieves the individual to experience a lot of rich experiences that he cannot experience without it. It is a very special experience. Two. Travel tips. There are many guidelines and tips for people who travel, especially a lot, including: 3. Keep more than one credit card. Some unwanted and unexpected things can happen while traveling. It is very likely, so it is always wise to keep a plan B when the occurrence of some disasters, especially financial ones. Instead of putting all the money in one credit card, it is good to have more than one card, and thus the traveler does not stumble in reaching the source of his money. One of the very bad things that may happen to the traveler is to lose access to money. This may lead to a significant disruption of his trip activities. 4. Use the map. Some people may be ashamed to appear strange or tourist in the country they are traveling to, so they may avoid using what indicates that they are tourists, but this is not something to be ashamed of. It is natural for a person who does not know the country he is in to use maps to reach his various destinations without being lost, so there is no harm in using the map so that a person does not get lost and waste his time and effort. 5. Don't put money in a special bag. The waste bag is attractive to thieves, as it is very clear and the thief can easily remove it from the traveler's waist, so using it is an incorrect idea, and it is better to put money in pockets instead of accessible bags. In addition to that, it is better to make the amount in it limited, so that the traveler is not exposed to a major theft and also so that he does not waste spending. 6. Copies of important documents. It is preferable to keep a copy of the passport and all important documents, and it is better that this copy be computerized and paperless, so the traveler does not know what may happen to him. So it is good to keep an identity that you know about him in the foreign country if the original passport is damaged or lost for one reason or another. This will secure him from being exposed to situations that he does not need. 7. Sleep well. One of the most important tips related to health when traveling is for a person to sleep well and take a break so that travel does not affect his health negatively. Travel is often tiring, so he must prepare for his trip, especially if it is long, and this may be in the means of transportation he rides. This time is good to gain more energy and charge the body with it so that he can start his trips and activities with a vigilant mind. 8. Food and drink. It is preferable to avoid long-cooked foods and eat fresh and guaranteed foods, in order to ensure that they are not exposed to food poisoning or any problem related to food, which may hinder the individual from completing his journey happily and smoothly. And the traveler must also drink large amounts of water so as not to expose himself for dehydration or fatigue associated with lack of water. And it is preferable to drink bottled water because it is sterile and safe. 9. Visit a local tourism office. It is good for the traveler to visit a local tourism office to see the various events and activities held in the city he traveled to, and thus be able to engage in more activities and experiences instead of wasting time or money, so he can know through the office's free activities and go to them. And it is always good to use a reliable source that knows a lot about the city to be a reference for the traveler, and the best source is the experts in the tourism offices. 10. Basic country vocabulary. If the traveler is going to a country that does not know the language of its people, it is good to learn some basic vocabulary that helps him communicate what he wants. This will help him if he talks to people who do not speak another language, and they will appreciate and admire him when they see that he is trying to speak a little in their language, which makes them give him more help if he needs it. 11. Visiting historical places at certain times. Historical places are usually crowded with people at peak times, so it is good to go to them very early in the morning or late at night, or at lunch times. At these times these places are filled with Not eating in tourist places. Tourist places, especially restaurants, are usually very expensive, as the owners of these shops usually raise prices for tourists. They do not know the prices of the country, so getting a meal from such places is not a good idea. 13. Travel insurance. One of the most important things that the traveler must do is travel insurance, in order to protect him from the debts that may result if he gets sick or injured in distant countries and needs a high cost of treatment, but travel insurance prevents this from happening, especially for people who like to try dangerous activities. And travel insurance achieves other benefits such as paying for accommodation or returning to the country when exposed to something and not being able to afford these costs. 14. Emergency numbers. Learn about the local emergency numbers for the police, ambulance, fire, tourist services, and service numbers provided by your country's embassy while you are abroad, and these numbers vary from one country to another, so be sure to know these numbers and save them on your phone so that you are ready for anything to happen, God forbid.